So the water came on for the grass after I made the videos for my enemies, telling them that their children had a certain need to be tested because they claimed they had the power to give people a disease. But now someone says if you don't get your children HIV tested, you're gonna get killed because I don't want you to be around my kids and my family when you have your children have diseases. And now, so don't think that your enemies have diseases at a time when they want to touch on you in the hospital because you think you could touch on other people in secret. So at what point did someone say get the fuck out of secret and get your disgraceful ass the fuck out of my city before people said, you thought you were so tough and you're not so tough after all. I said, get the fuck out of secret. So at what point? Because they want to get a lawsuit because they bulged my head and took everything. At what point when I tell you get your crybaby ass out of secret, do you not understand? Don't ever fucking put your fucking hands on me before I fuck you up. So at what point did people say that it's not true? Because it was the hospital, the square, it was the clinic, and then it was the Malcolm X, and then it was the white people from before 2024 was yet to come in this decade, before the hospital 24th was yet to come, before 2022 and October happened, and November and August already happened. And then even you could throw in a September. It's like a split in between every start of the month in each season where it might be good and it has to wait 2 weeks or 3 days or 1 week to return to that good. That will be September, and maybe even March a little bit as a whole before it gets to May. It's a complete in one, all those numbers of that month with the number of day inside of May as a different season, different time, but the same pattern as something that's initiated, even though that other month is a month too. So eventually, like, people will feel their children's sack being hot, or they'll feel like they was trying to harass people in secret. And then there's even like the time before the hospital existed, and then the weeks after, when people might think that they were hiding of people who already existed in times years before the hospital, or years after the hospital, years after that hospital, before the hospital, and maybe like a Heartland or a Devon, that they'll say, oh, we were trying to give people diseases in America because you were white, but instead your children got a dysfunctional growth pattern, and you wanted to tell people that, oh, it's not so funny after all when you thought you were going to lock people in the clinic or hospital or say or else, but instead your child was the only one that got a disease related to your tribe, who you relate to your employment and relate to your government work system. When you tried to, your child got dysfunctional and you didn't care because you really just wanted to say that you wanted to harass a real nigga when he said, I'll kill you and stop harassing me, before you try to hide behind the law and your children got a disease because you weren't so tough at all. So stop telling people have a disease because your child is the one with the disease and you are a dysfunctional person. And if your child doesn't get HIV tested, you will get killed because your child, nobody has something that's on record that your child doesn't, when it has a dysfunctional growth pattern, because you tried to fuck with people at a time they fucked you up and said, do not ever fucking touch me, keep your hands the fuck off me before I fuck you up so fucking bad your children look retarded. And you tell people that they have to get HIV tested because people don't want your retarded children around them. So at what point did people say, get the fuck out of my house, stop being crazy, thinking that your child doesn't have a consequence of you trying to lock people in the hospital and claim you don't exist, and somehow you say that, oh, you found some random thing that doesn't relate to your children, either have to get tested or be linked to your white tribe, that says, oh, you thought you were going to lock somebody up in the hospital, but instead your children got diagnosed with the disorder that you try to tell people that was inhumane.